If only I could turn back time.
Hello everyone out there, my name is Oni, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make the final boss out of Absolver's moveset, otherwise known as Risryn. This was a request from a commenter known as The Forgiven, and unfortunately, she does not actually have a moveset. I'll go more into detail on this in a bit, but she essentially switches between different styles throughout the fight, as well as different moves in those styles, so pinpointing one exact moveset isn't available. Now, I was able to make a moveset that is based off of her final form, or final moveset style, as well as a few different moves from those different movesets. And I'm going to be showing you that today, as well as the best way to use the moves that are in her moveset. And with that, let's get into the talk about her fight and when she switches styles, so that way everybody knows I'm not lying about that. And after that, we'll get into the moveset in case you want to skip that part of the video. So without further ado, here is the fight. So at the start of the fight, we can see that she's in a Forsaken style, shown by the way her fists are clenched and the moves as well as gestures she makes. She'll also show off a parry here in a moment. In this fighting style, she only has a couple of moves that she uses. The drop kick, which she almost used there, the charged hit there, as well as an elbow and a throwing fist. After you drop her health a little bit, she goes into a other side moveset, which is the Falcon Punch, into an elbow, into a kick, I believe. And those are the two moves that she uses in the beginning of the fight, switching only between the front and left stances. Now we changed into Windfall. You can see that by her different gestures, as well as the way her hands are unclasped now, and the way she dodges moves instead of parrying them. This comes with a completely different set of moves that is shown still from the front right and front left. Now we've changed into Sword. I'll go ahead and remove that real quick because with all of the different move sets that she has throughout this fight and changes in stances, I did not take the time to learn her sword move sets or focus on those. So now we've gone back into the Forsaken style, showing off the Falcon Punch again, into elbow kick, I believe is what it is. Kick, elbow, my bad. And this brings back parrying again. Once you bring her health down lower, she'll go back into the Windfall, which she's in now. You can see a change in her movesets as well as the way she holds her hands. And now I'm working to reduce her health lower so that way we can get her into her final moveset of the Forsaken style, which is the one that I took the most moves from since it's the most extensive deck. There are a few from her other sets that are thrown in there, but this boss does not actually have a complete moveset given how often she changes between stances and movesets. So now we're getting into the final Forsaken moveset. You can notice that she's parrying now instead of dodging. This mashes together a multiple of different Forsaken moves, as well as some from the Windfall category. That one there, for instance, which is the Chin Slam, I think is what it's called? Or Collar Slam, maybe. After this, she pretty much stays in that moveset, switching between Forsaken and Windfall fighting style. So after she breaks the sword, I'll just go ahead and finish her off, and we can get on to talking about the actual moveset that I have made based on her different stance changes. And there you have it. That's the end of the fight, and let's get on to the moveset. So this is the moveset for Risryn that I have made up myself. It's loosely based off of the final part of the fight, but it starts off with the standard set punch that she goes into, which I've noticed is just a gateway into her normal setup, which is following off of this kick over here on the right and leading in between these two different stances slash movesets here. Every once in a while you can change it up into this final one, which I have only seen her use as a feint for the knee into the mill punch, and this leads you back into this move that I've added in from her third phase of the fight, the windfall version. Originally, this moveset does not have anything for this bottom right or this top part. I've added in these two from other parts of her style, as well as the knee. I'm not entirely sure if that's what goes there, because I've only ever seen it used as a feint move into the mill punch, but this is the closest I could get to what the feint appears to be. Most of her movesets are unfinished. It usually stays in these top right and top left stances and only uses those. The final one is the only one that goes through all four stances at some point. It never shows anything for the bottom right triangle or the top right triangle, however, so those I had to implement on my own. To go through the moves to show you what all is in here, we have the cross punch for the top, into the tripped kick. The second one is the straight punch, into the ankle stamp, into stretch out hook. Third position is fast elbow, into illusion twist kick, into direct punch, and the fourth one is liver knee into mill punch. For our alternative moves, we have charged haymaker, into winged back kick, scissor kick, and spiral palm. Now I'll show you a little bit on how this move set works. I have not tested it out in PvP. I did it a little bit in PvE against only Risryn herself, and it's a okay moveset. I would need more time with it to know if it's actually viable in most combat scenarios, and since I'm standardly used to my Amasaba moveset, I'm not accustomed to the way that this moveset works. But from what I can tell from her fight, generally she'll do this. She starts in the top right, I believe. Yes, she starts in the top right, and it is just a gateway, so you'll do the first two punches slash kick, and that leads you into the top left stance, which allows you to go into the kick and leads you through her first set, which always leads back into the kick. So you can go, starting off the fight, you go this punch into that, and then you've got your kick, which leads you into the second fighting style, and then if you continue that, it leads into the third, which always leads back to this kick and back into the top one again, and generally it just goes between those. Now, I've only seen it once or twice, but there is times where she will be in this stance, and that allows you to go into the knee and mill punch, which also leads into the spiral palm. Normally when she's in this, I will only see her go liver knee feinted into mill punch. It's a little bit hard to pull off, but once you get the hang of it, it can be a great fake out on the opponent. This move here, I've only seen use on the very first stance she goes into at the beginning of the fight, but I thought it was a good move. Normally you can get people with the charge moves anyways, and throwing it in the moveset can be really good. It normally plays off of the first hits in all of her moveset. So at any time in the beginning you can throw it in, except for on the bottom two. So mostly the top right and top left. When you start out those, you can change it into the charged haymaker and kind of fake out your opponent. But essentially that's Risryn's moveset. You don't get the same types of defenses as she has, so a lot of the potential of the moveset is kind of lost there. but in this one she does use Forsaken, so I would recommend that over using Windfall. And I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button and leave a comment if there's anything you want me to play. I've got a few different games besides Absolver, but I don't mind doing other movesets. And thanks, and have a good one.